Here it is, the Volkswagen ID4 Pro 2023 model. It's sexy, right? Yeah. My previous video, I had a Honda CR-V 2002 in this garage and had that big oil stain right there. Oh man, it was a disaster. No more oil leaks for me, no more gas station visits. It's gonna be great. I've so far have had it for about 3 days. Haven't had to fill it on up with electricity just yet, which is nice. I mean, I haven't driven it that much, but the regenerative braking is pretty sick. So I've definitely been trying to drive as eco-friendly as possible to get that regen all the time and try to never have to charge this car. So I'm going from a 2002 Honda CR-V, right? So that's a gas car. It was kind of a guzzler, but it was beautiful because it was a nice rectangle shape. I could fit anything into it. And you know, there are some cons, okay? So I'll kind of just start off with that. Look at this. So there is more of a teardrop. They kind of shave it off. Aerodynamic, great, but at the same time, you gotta duck a little bit if you're tall. I'm 6'1", so yeah, you gotta duck when you get on in. But once you get used to that, after hitting your head a couple times, you know, it's fine. It's totally fine. I mean, most modern cars are going to be like this, so it's just something that I have to get used to and adapt to. And at least we have a little windshield wiper in the back. Some cars don't do that anymore, which doesn't make any sense. Here's another funny thing I had to do. Like, this trunk opens up vertically. So I put some bubble wrap here because this kind of protrudes down a little bit, and I hit it the very first time because I didn't drive enough forward. So anyway, don't do that. And this is what the trunk looks like, a bunch of bags already. It'll fit a stroller in here perfectly fine, and you'll have plenty of more space off to the side because I put the stroller vertically as opposed to lying it flat on the ground. You could do that too, but it'll just take up more ground space. So doing it vertically allows you to have a lot of space in here. I got to go on my recycle plastic bag run. Obviously, this is a manual. You got to pull it down. Is it that hard or heavy to do? No. Just like that. It's a lot easier than I expected. I like my CR-V. It would open out this way, and you know, you can easily access, and I didn't have to worry about the garage door, but all good. That's a simple little thing. I think there's generally just enough cargo space in this car for a family of one. Obviously, if you had 2 strollers, it's like you couldn't carry much else. Of course, if you had older kids, you wouldn't have to worry about those strollers and everything like that. So it'd work in that situation as well. These, they're really hard. You gotta shove them. Okay, there you go, to, you know, get them closer to the body. But that being said, I mean, how much space are you actually saving by doing that? A little bit, an inch or two, okay? It's not that much. So looking at this, we've got the hood, of course. This being the Pro model, it doesn't light up all the way. The lights are kind of around here, which is perfectly fine. I don't really care if the Volkswagen logo lights on up. I mean, that'd be cool, but does it matter? No. For those that are curious, I'm gonna open up the front. All right. Here's what the front engine looks like. There's no space in here to put anything, which is perfectly fine. A lot of electric cars might have a little cargo space here, which is good, you know, especially considering how small generally these cars are. But, you know, what can you do? Coming from the gas car, which is a lot slower. Obviously, this has a lot of pickup and can go extremely fast. But it's not like I'm losing control as I'm driving the car, as, you know, not going 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds, you know, like it takes some time to get there, but it's plenty of speed and you feel totally safe and nice in this car, very comfortable. So one of the neat things that you could do, like you could push the buttons, but if you just come up to the driver's side door, it'll unlock. And I've had it many times where the air conditioning will kick on. Let's see if it does it right now. It sounded like it just beeped. But the lights are beautiful. You know, you can see where the door handles are. You just go on underneath and push a button, it'll pop up. It sounds like the air conditioning is kicking on, so let me turn on the lights one more time. So this is the light situation. Again, beautiful. Looks really nice. I haven't actually driven it at night, but they look really good during the daytime, these lights, you know? Super loud air conditioning, but goes all the way across that brake bar and such, which is cool. So now that it's unlocked, I can show you the charge port. Take that out if we had that DC fast charging, right? But I don't need that when I'm at home. I just go to my Electrify America home station, I believe is what they call it, and I plug it on in. But right now I turned off the breaker, so it's powered off because I don't need to charge it right now. So what's the point of even having power go to it? So close that on up. So this is the back, and again, there's plenty of leg room, plenty of height room for me. Again, 6'1". But is it the most spacious of cars? Obviously, it'll get very tight quickly, especially with one baby involved. Imagine two, you definitely couldn't sit between them. So that's something to take into consideration. I really like that you can store things right up here by the seat, like your cell phone or whatever. Again, easy to open the window and open the door, right? Get in and out. Down here, let's turn on the lights if I could find them. So nice little touch lights. I think you can adjust the brightness a little bit by just swiping around, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, you got some vents back here. Didn't have those in the CR-V. And look at this, the future is now USB-C. Gotta love that. And a little cubby, for those who are charging their phone. And this does not come down, which really stinks. In my CR-V, you would bring this down. You would have 2 cup holders right there. It was pretty sweet. Where are the cup holders? Are there no cup holders? I guess not. You're on your own, kids. Oh, great. So they can definitely hold. Oh, got some cup holders. Found them. Oh, thank God. Yeah, that's a pain, but I guess it is what it is. Anyway, down here, I got these cheap plastic mats. Apparently, when I picked up the car from Carvana, they didn't even have the regular Volkswagen mats, and they just had these in their car. So I had to kind of cut them, and they look terrible, honestly. You'll see them in the front as well. They look a lot worse over there, but I'm gonna have to replace those at some point now. So closing it on up, going to the passenger side. Look at these. Ooh, look at those LED lights. Wow, the future's now, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to change the color, change the brightness, make your car look like your own. But from the passenger standpoint, hey, Robotico, how you doing? The passenger seat is lower than the driver's seat. I just found that out today as I was a passenger earlier. And, that kind of annoyed me. I couldn't adjust the height a little bit. You can go forward, backward. It's all manual levers over here and over here. So, I'm used to that kind of world with the Honda CR-V. Look at these waterproof mats. I mean, look at that gap. So I'm going to have to get, the Volkswagen one eventually and get rid of these stupid things. But there's some cubby space in here, opening on up, and some cubby space over here. This is if you want to charge your cell phone with wireless charging. You would just place it within this clamp and then go there, or you could do the USB-C charging. There are 2 ports right there. There are 2 cup holders. Are there cup holders over here though? No, you just got some cubby space. So yeah, there are only like 2 cup holders in this entire car from what I can tell. Am I correct in seeing that and thinking that, fellow ID4 fans? Like what's up with that? What do the kids in the back do? Anyway, at least this is not broken, okay? Look at that. In my CR-V, it was cracked, so, oh well, it's nice that it kicks on the light. So you'll also notice from a passenger standpoint that the screen is tilted towards the driver, so it gives you a weird little perspective as the passenger. It gets me a little nauseous. Looking at, as well, the vents over here are angled towards the driver, which is bizarre, but obviously, you can shift them around to get some airflow on you. But I do find that, I don't know, either the airflow or I'll just say the air conditioning overall isn't as good as my 2002 CR-V. I don't know what that's about. It just doesn't feel as strong. And maybe that's also because this isn't tinted, this particular windshield. I had that tinted in my CR-V because it was just so much more comfortable to do that. So approaching the driver's side, as I sit down, the car should kind of begin. Yeah, welcome to Volkswagen, right? And so it tells us what we're doing with our mileage. My wife just drove it, so, dropped a lot. It's fine. She doesn't drive in... Oh. She doesn't drive in B. I'm trying to convince her. You got to drive in B. It's more regenerative braking, but she doesn't like the one pedal kind of driving aspect of it. You know, it's intimidating as a gas driver, right? But I do find it fun to try on out. So let me turn off that air conditioning. I do find it fun to try. Oh, look at that. 227 miles a minute. I turned off that air conditioning. So air conditioning, of course, will take away from your battery life, which sucks. So if you live in a hot climate, sorry, just extend that range as best as you can. I love these buttons. They illuminate. So if you remember from the passenger side, they weren't illuminated. So as you begin your driving process, you can turn things on. Like there's travel assist right here that is currently not illuminated, but it's pretty cool. Let's just turn on the engine. And I can turn it on via a button over here, or you just go to your legs and hit the brake section. There you go. So I hit the brake, and look at that. The future is now, the lights kicked on because I'm on auto over here. There's so many buttons all over the place. They're all kind of like touch sensitive, but there are no knobs. And that's what I miss the most out of my CR-V is like, knobs are wonderful. Why did we get rid of them all? A lot of people complain about this whole window situation. Oh, you have two buttons as a driver, so you have to kind of like tap, and then you can control the back. So it's not impossible. And then you hold down a little bit, and now that it's flashing, it should be flashing at some point. There you go. Now I can control them all at the same time, which is just as convenient, right? And then tap it again, or there you go. Now I can control mine only, right? And that one's, so it's like as you're driving, you got to think about these things a little bit. It's not 100% intuitive, but as you drive it further, I'm sure you're just going to get more and more used to it. Just again, like regenerative braking. So it's not that big of a deal in my opinion, but to each their own. Again, this looks like Tron. You're in the future grid or something like that. You know, it'll tell you if there's objects in front of you. Let's go to drive mode real fast. Oh, you hear that? Oh man, that's cool, huh? Yeah, so it's telling us there's some objects in the way. And some objects if we move forward, right? But I love the noise outside. Oh, that's so cool. We'll play around with all these sort of features. There's way too many to be had. Wow. It's so futuristic, okay? But it's so simple to drive. Why wouldn't more people buy this car? Highly recommend you try it on out in your local Volkswagen dealership. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comment section below. So I'll make more of a detailed video about all this software stuff and, you know, all these buttons and what they do in a future video. So subscribe to my channel for more. Coming soon.